Okay, so this is as good a place as any to start. Sorry about the road traffic. See those mountains? That hillscape? They call it the hogback. And if the wind or the cars are too much, I might do a voiceover, but this feature runs up the Front Range on the west side of Denver for miles and miles, and there's breaks in between, roads and things like that. But I'm going to show you more. It keeps going and going and going. And one distinct feature, if you look over here, there's a very weird slope and a very specific angle of the hogback. That's what at least people call it here. I think I said that. Oh, sorry. And on this edge, you can see, pardon me, a different rock formation. You see that standing out? We're going to see more of that later. But I just wanted to start here. I'm standing in a field of grass, tall grass. It's about to my belt line. And it's a pretty nice day except for the lines in the sky. But we're going to continue this. And hopefully you will see something that my friend Polar Bear and I kind of worked out together. I'd been looking at it for years. And then when he was here, I was showing him around and something just clicked. And so it's time to share that. Thanks. Alright, so, sorry, that's another angle of the mountain formation, or the formation we just looked at. And we're going to drive back into it, and we're going to take a look at it from the back side. And it's kind of important to what I want to show you, so it's actually very important. It's a nice day. It's Monday, not a lot of people out, which is great. If you've seen when I had the Jeep, I took the same road with the Jeep before. So if something looks familiar, that's what it is. We're zoomed in a little bit. And I think one thing we're going to notice, or I'm hoping to show you, is that there's a very distinct difference between this so-called hogback on the Front Range and the actual mountains. Because what I'm alluding to, or going to get to, Deer Creek Canyon Trail, Park, whatever, is I don't think these are mountains. There's that shot I showed you before of just the jagged rock edge. It's a very distinct line. Sorry, try to drive and do this. And so hopefully I'll be able to tie this together. But in the meantime, it's kind of a nice drive. Let's see what's on the radio.
Save it, buddy. You are what you dream, and you will never look at everything
Okay, now here we start to see some red rocks. I've shown you that before. They're weird. And from a broader perspective, they don't look like they belong here. They just don't fit in with the most of the rest of the area. You can see them up there a little bit. Oops, stay in your lane. I don't know if you guys have grooved lanes. Supposed to remind you that you're breaking the law before the cars told you that you were in the other lane. So here you go, see the red rocks? I'm gonna turn up here and find a place to park and show you some more. Okay, so it's windy, but I'm gonna do my best. There's a copper speeding away, going somewhere. This is the backside of that hogback. I'm just gonna use hogback. And there's a very distinct pattern in that rock. I've shown this before, but it never made sense to me. And there are all these red rocks. There's wind, sorry. This is... See that angle? Believe it or not, that's about the same angle as the hogback. And then there's a vast expanse. And then there's mountains. And this valley looking thing. Sorry, another Tesla. They're all over here. There's a big valley, it looks like, between the mountains and the hogback. And this will be replicated over and over for miles and miles. And then when we get to the north edge of it, that might make more sense. Okay, so we're a little further up the road. And you can see that same type of exposed rock runs the whole way. And I don't know how much you're going to notice it from this angle. But all these red rocks are sticking out. They're all running about the same angle. And we'll see this again. Sorry, it's windy. And in a lot of places, they do really weird things. Oops. It's interesting. They're fascinating to me. We're gonna go touch them. There's a texture that's so different from rock. It's interesting. So here's another section. And you can see it's very similar. And then you drive, there's a road down there. This was the one we were looking at. Sorry for the dirty windshield, but the wind was loud. Oh, and the tinted, whatever. That's the top edge of what I showed you to the left before. So that's the road that cuts through. And then you'll see on the other side, well, kind of. Nope. Damn it. I'll have to get another shot from the other side, but there's there it is. That's pretty good. That's the same slope as the very first one I showed you. Okay, so I took out that audio driving on the highway to tell you I filmed this so when you look on the left, that hogback runs all the way up the highway. And at each place, you can see that exposed edge. And I think it's worth showing you, so I wanted to show you that. Also, I'm clearly not a great videographer. I pan way too fast, and so I'm sorry for that. But I'm going to add some raw video that Brian took when he was in Colorado with me. And I'll see if I can splice it in, or maybe just put it at the end. So I do thank you for watching, and in a few seconds here, we'll get back to just the raw video. Okay, so this is the epitome of distracted driving. Sorry. Once we pull over, I'll explain. People that think this is meat from giants, they will say, okay, that's bone marrow. And these were capillaries, or veins. That's certainly not water erosion on the underside.
It could be, man.
I don't have an idea. I don't have a clue. But go feel it. Go touch it.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely rock.
Yeah, it almost feels like lava rock.
Yeah, yeah. That was my first thought.
And when you look at over here, there's rocks embedded in it.
Yeah?
This is a material that's different than this. Clearly. All over the place it's embedded. That's bizarre, huh?
Could it be some kind of mudslide?
Probably not.
That
Maybe.
Brought
Maybe.
it from somewhere else?
It could have been. It could have been.
I don't know.
That's where they're mining. See those grooves down there?
Yeah?
They're mining right on the front range now. Well, they have been for years, but
So they're blowing it up and everything?
digging it out.
Digging it out.
It's granite. Not granite. Yeah, it's a granite quarry.
Look at the ridge up there.
Yeah. And they put it on. That's why fucking asphalt is so hard on tires.
Yeah.
Because they use granite and tar to make this asphalt,
Okay.
and it tears the shit out of it.
Yeah, it does. We don't have that in our.
No.
We don't use granite.
Could you imagine falling on that as a kid?
Yeah, that would not be nice.
No, you get scarred up. But this is bizarre shit.
No climbing? That's not my first thought.
No, falling is my first thought.
Yeah. But it almost seems like, you know, water erosion. If you don't know any better.
Not underneath.
No, but like.
Yes. Yeah.
If you imagine there was there was a river or something, water going that way, big time.
Yeah.
You could have escaped all that easily.
And they would tell you, their cover story always is, over millions and millions of years, rain has eroded this.
Rain.
But it stays in the same place.
Yeah.
How much rain does Colorado get? Not enough to do this.
No, definitely
in a billion
not.
years. And the fact that lichen grows on it, see this green stuff?
Yeah.
That moss?
Yeah.
Only grows southwest. If you're ever lost in the mountains and you see that shit, it's pointing southwest.
That attacks roof in my country.
Because you have so much moisture.
Yeah. We have that all the roofs. So you have to once a year have to take that shit off the roof.
Yeah. It's bizarre, dude.
Yeah. It is.
There's a park we're gonna go to.
Yeah.
This way, So one of my favorites is sitting up here in the back rows. The sound is incredible because of the echo off the rocks. Yeah.
The mountain outside?
That's Castle Rock.
Yeah.
Down there.
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna drive right by.
Yeah.
I can see the perimeter now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then it goes away over here.
Yeah.
Sitting here.
Yeah.
The band's playing. The lights of downtown are lit up.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that distance. Most likely.
Somewhere out there, that area would be the impact.
I'd like to know where that angle, what angle that's at compared to this.
Yeah.
To see if maybe that's just a ripple in it or if that's the edge.
Yeah. But it's definitely going around. Yeah. And then you have this big flat area in the middle.
Right.
I never bought the stories about valleys. You know?
What?
Valleys. I don't believe any valleys are natural.
Okay, yeah, that they just came that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
It's, you know, the crust goes up, but all of a sudden it's perfect in the middle. No, I don't buy that.
You can see the edge of it.
Yeah.
So what you or I have to do together or separate,
Yeah.
is we have to get the height. All right, so we've seen this before. That kind of open crust edge, and then the soil on the top. Whoops, sorry, soil on the top, soil on the left side. And if you look at this one, and then the next set right there. And that goes all the way down. Notice the angle that it rises from the flat part. And then look at the mountain behind it. You see a difference? I see a difference. I'm starting to see a pattern here. And this continues the other way as well. That's where I was when we first started this, way on the other side of that development. And just from this angle right here, what's so telling to me is that. And I'll mark up a picture and show you exactly what I mean. But we have one more exploration, and then I'll wind this up. So this is the backside view of what I just showed you. Forgive the traffic noise. That's that crust edge up there. And then there's a grassy section. And then there's that red rock. Remember that red rock? Picture this flat, like that, instead of like that. And picture it laying down on the flat earth. And imagine something came and ripped the crust open and shot that red stuff out, whatever that is. We're still gonna go touch some of it and show you a little more. So that is what they call shiprock. Big, giant, red thing. And this is the backside of what we call the hogback. And you can see downtown Denver. You can see easy with your naked eye from here. We got some elevation on them, about maybe 1,000 feet. You can see this place is, it's not round. There's Buckley Air Force Base. Let's see. You're looking for little white balls in the horizon. That's really far from here. And somebody, if you want to do the math, do the math. But I wanted to show you the rocks and show you the place. You can see the different layers. We're going to walk over to another place and I'm going to show you the rest. So that's the texture of this rock. Looks like grout compared to rocks that's what most people think of as a rock. Smooth, jagged, some of these in here. This stuff is different. It almost looks like they plastered over it, used a trowel or something. And it's on every single one. All those are the same. It's the backside of shiprock. It's got the same texture. And then right here, maybe sandstone. That's the rock texture we expect. So you're gonna see it a little better on the map I show you. But straight down there, in a semicircle, are more of these red rocks right there, sorry. See that? Same angle. It's hemispherical, you can tell. So what does this all mean? Well, we're going to cover that a little bit more too. But I say these are where the mountains actually start. Oh. And the thing they call the hogback was a tear in the crust. Okay, so this is the edge where the hogback starts, if you can see the mouse cursor. And it runs right down here. They have a thing called Hogback Road. It runs through Morrison. Runs down here. We started at this very edge. Well, not the very edge, but this edge down here. And it runs there. And then it kind of tails off here. And what that means, I have no idea. But if we look back up, all through this area, there's red rock outcroppings. All back in here, all back in here, all throughout it. So it sure appears to me that this edge was ripped off the earth and that red stuff came out. Was it molten? Maybe. Does that change the flat earth models? Probably. But it's a long stretch. There's probably, I can guess, where's the measurement tape? Do you still have that on this thing? I can't remember. But it's a long ways. And it's definitely an interesting feature. I know down south near Colorado Springs, there is a very similar section. That has rock formations all over here, and a few of these front edges. Not as many as right in Colorado, but this slope right here is a real similar long slope as opposed to a very specific mountain. And that's also on the front edge of the mountains. So what it means, I don't know, but I wanted to add this in. So here's what I'm saying. That edge right there, that used to be flat on the ground. And you can see the grass. And then another tear. And you can see that red rock. Something cataclysmic, or cataclysmicized. What's the right word? There was a cataclysm here. It blew open the earth. And it spewed red, weird rock out. And it's obvious now to me, thanks to the help of Polar Bear, that happened.